Hello again. Today I'm going to be talking about how we can route IPv6 addresses in between networks. As you know from the last lesson that I did, we were assigning IP addresses to IPv6 addresses to the router interfaces and to the end user PC. But now we're going to find out that even though, kind of like the same thing with IPv4 addresses, even though we have the IP addresses set, that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to be able to communicate between the networks. And we most likely will not be able to because there's no routing set on these devices. I don't have any type of routing protocol running on our network yet. That's going to be for a future video. We're going to be enabling OSPF. But for right now, we're going to be looking at some static routes. But first, let's show you how there is no valid routing between the networks. So if I'm going to go into simulation mode here, and I'm going to ping the router 5 from the PC2. Okay, so I'm going to go here, and I've already got that IP address listed there. Once I do that ping, you're going to be able to follow it and see that the ping goes to the switch, it goes to the router, it goes back to the switch, it goes back to the PC. Working perfectly, okay? So if that works good, think about now pinging from this router here, okay? Pinging from this router, gigabit 0/1 port to the PC2. Is that going to work? Well, let's try it out and see. So let's go into simulation mode. Actually, first, you know what I'll have to do is I'll have to grab the IP address from PC2 because I didn't document that. So I'm going to be using the IPv6 config command in order to grab the IP address here. Make sure when you're looking at your IP, you're getting the correct one. That's the link local IP address there. You don't want that. Both are valid IP addresses, but this is the one that's going to be able to be routed between networks, and that's the one we want to use. So I copied it there. Let's come over here. Let's paste it, and let's go into simulation mode, and we'll see if this works. And we will see that the packets don't have anywhere to go. They don't know where to go. This prefix here, FD00:1:1:3, is not, this router here doesn't know how to get to that. As you can tell by, let's go back into real time, looking at the router, the routing table, you can see that there is a valid connection route to the subnet 2, but there's no valid route to subnet 3. Okay, so we have to add that in there. First, before I do that, let me put a note here about there, what that IP address is there, so I don't have to go look it up again. So how do we do that? And where do we need to put that route? Well, the packet starts from here, from this router here, router 4. And so that router has to be able to know what the next hop is for this network we're trying to get to. So let's tell it. We're going to go to config terminal. Sorry, first we're going to go in enable mode, then we're going to config terminal, and then we're going to add an IP route. So the way that you're going to do that is you're going to just issue the IPv6 command. Remember, it's v6, not IP. If we wanted to write an IPv4 route, we would just do IP route. But we're going to do an IPv6 route, and then we're going to give it the subnet that we're trying to get to. I've got this IP address here, so conveniently I can just remove the host portion, put a double colon, and then do a /64 for the prefix length, and then we have the network we're trying to get to. So then we need to tell the router what the next hop is. The next hop in our instance is going to be this router right here, router 5. I happen to know, because I just configured it, that the IP address is FD00:1:1:2:2. That's the IP address for that gigabit 0/0 interface for router 5. So once I have both of those in, I'm going to press enter, And it's going to say, oh, I've detected a problem. And yes, you did, because I did not put double colons there. It's my mistake. I always forget that. So then we're going to press enter, and we're going to remember whenever we press an enter on a command and we see some type of message like this, we're knowing that something went wrong, that command did not go through correctly. So we want to go ahead and see where we made an error. And Cisco even does a really good job of pointing to it right here. It says, hey, there's an error right here. Now, the specific error wasn't exactly where that D is, but it is in that group right there, because the error was actually right there, which I corrected right there. So we've added IPv6 route. So let's take a look at that route. Issuing the same command, show IPv6 route, we see that we now have a statically assigned route to that network, saying where to go. So basically we told the router, when you're trying to get to this network with a subnet of 3, we're going to go through router 5. So let's test it out. I think I still have the ping command right there. Yep, right there. So we're going to ping that computer again. Let's go back into simulation mode so you can see the ping go through. Let's press enter, and then let's see where that packet goes. Goes to router 5. Router 5 knows where that PC is, sends it to the switch. The switch sends it to the PC2, and then all the way back. Boom. And we have good connection there. So that's how we added a route to the router 4 in order for this network, subnet 2, to be able to communicate with subnet 3 network. And you're going to have to add routes anytime you're going through a different network. Like for instance, if I was coming from router 3 and trying to get over here, I would have to add a route for router 3 to get to router 2, and then router 2 is going to use its existing route to get to router 4 right here, so to get to router 5, and so on and so forth. So it all builds off of that. Now these are the static routes, and again, once we go through our next lesson of enabling OSPF, we won't have to do all this. It'll do it automatically. So thank you very much, and I hope this was helpful and informative to you, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions or problems.